introducing Santa Monica City Council candidate and peaceful protester, the one and only Kelley.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network, where I am peacefully protesting and running for Santa Monica City Council in 2026 to stand up for human rights. That's right here in Santa Monica, California. We need to stand up for the rights of the homeless and those who are being criminalized for being poor and homeless. Right here on our YouTube television show, here with a potential audience of over 2 billion people.
That's right, 2 billion.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade.
You are so welcome.
That's right here in Santa Monica, California, where I am standing up for human rights and speaking out against criminalizing poverty and homelessness, and telling our leaders here in Santa Monica, you have done a terrible job. You are criminalizing homelessness and criminalizing poverty. And you need to be working to build affordable housing and stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. We need to show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. We need to show that progressive government is different than conservative, authoritarian government, and that we believe that human beings have a right to exist. That's what we got to do. We got to keep standing up for human rights, keep celebrating everybody's right to be who they are, and the right of everybody to exist, whether they're rich or poor. Even if you're a poor person, you have the same rights as a rich person here in the United States of America, here in California, here in the city of Santa Monica, California. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's celebrate love. That's right. Are you having a good night? Good to see you. Peace. Good to see you, Andre. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate Andre. And what's your name again? Tell me your name again, please. Hadris. Hadris. Good to see you again, Hadris. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's celebrate love and life. Let's celebrate every day that we can stay away from war and strife. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Let's celebrate all our lovely girls and boys. Good to see you. Have a great night. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. That's right. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate loving poor people a little more in this country. Let's celebrate standing up for human rights and making sure that everybody can have the right to exist in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. In this very wealthy, in the 4th largest economy of the whole wide world, California. In this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. We all have the right to exist and to thrive and survive. So let's stand up for everybody's rights. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we can be. Let's celebrate all the different ways we can see the world. Let's celebrate all our lovely boys and girls. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Let's celebrate all our lovely girls and boys. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. That's right. I hope everybody who's here to see the FIFA World Cup, I hope everybody who's here to celebrate the sport of soccer, I hope all of you from all around the world see that we cherish our First Amendment rights here in the United States of America, the right of everybody to speak out, speak their mind, share your beliefs, share your thoughts and beliefs and your religious beliefs, your political beliefs, share your talents. We all have the same rights here in this country of the United States, and we need to stand up for those rights. And we need to make sure that everybody who comes here understands that we value human rights right here in the United States of America. That we value the right of every person to be able to exist, whether they're rich or poor. And that we shouldn't criminalize poverty and homelessness. We should continue to find ways to build affordable housing here in Santa Monica. We should make sure that we have safe spaces for our poor and homeless here at Santa Monica. Instead of arresting people for being poor and homeless, we need to be working to have safe spaces and stand up for human rights. I hope we can show that to these people that are coming to this country to see the soccer tournaments. I hope we can show them that we value human rights and value our First Amendment rights, and that everybody can be a part of our democratic process, all of our people here. So let's keep celebrating standing up for human rights. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways that we could be. Let's celebrate all the different ways we can see the world. Let's celebrate all our lovely boys and girls. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Let's celebrate all our lovely girls and boys. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. One more time, everybody sing along. Here we go, go, go. Yeah. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate me. Let's celebrate all the different ways we can be. Let's celebrate love and life. Let's celebrate every day that we can stay away from war and strife. Let's celebrate hope. Let's celebrate joy. Let's celebrate all our lovely girls and boys. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate love. Hey, hey. Woo. Thank you, peace. That's right. We got to keep speaking up and celebrating everybody's right to exist. We have to keep celebrating everybody's right to become the person they want to be in this country, as long as they're not committing violence against anybody else. You can be who you want to be, and we need to stand up for the right of poor people to exist in this country. We need to stand up for the right of poor people to be able to survive and thrive right here in Santa Monica, instead of being criminalized and being arrested for sleeping outdoors. We need to build more affordable housing and shelter beds and more safe spaces for poor people to stay. That's right, peace. That's right. We need to stand up. Everybody. That's right. And we need to keep standing up for everybody's right to speak their mind and speak out against authority, because that's a very important part. What? Hey, we got to tell them when they're arresting poor people for being poor and homeless. We got to tell them that's the people who are running this government. That's right. That's the authority. Okay. I agree with you. My name is Wade. What's your name? Sherry? Larry. Larry, nice to meet you. I'm Wade. My name, Wade Kelley. Huh? Okay. But I'm doing this thing right here. Oh, that's all right. Of course, we are a nation of laws. We have the best in history of humanity. And it's the First Amendment right. Our First Amendment law is a celebration of exercising our right to speak. That's right, to speak against authority and to speak against those that would abuse people. So the First Amendment of our Constitution says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of people peaceably to address. What about the Fifth Amendment? I'll get to that, but I'm talking about the First Amendment right now because it's very important for us to celebrate the First Amendment and make sure that everybody has their right to speak up against authority. So I'm going to say it one more time. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, and I'm standing up for human rights, but I am also speaking out to our leaders here in Santa Monica and telling them to stop criminalizing homelessness and poverty, because that is cruel and inhumane. And we can do better than that. That's not the way to end homelessness. That's not the way to end this housing crisis or poverty. We need to be lifting people up. We need to have progressive government that can lift people up. And that's another reason why we all have to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. You have a good night. I'm sorry I didn't meet you, but have a good night. Peace. That's right. We all need to stand up and speak out for the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. A lot of people say, well, you can't raise taxes on the billionaires right now because Trump's in power. We can do it right here in California. California is the fourth largest economy of the whole wide world. We don't have to wait for the rest of the country to raise taxes on billionaires. We can do it right here. And we need to start doing it because today, Elon Musk became a trillionaire. Now, that's the last thing we need in this country is a trillionaire. We should have been raising taxes on the rich a long time ago because we don't need somebody like Elon Musk owning more than 50%. He owns more wealth than 50% of the lowest income people here in the United States. So we got 340 million people here in the United States, and he owns more wealth than almost 170 million people. He owns more wealth than 170 million people. And that is a shame. And Bill Gates, too, we need to raise taxes on him. But Elon Musk actually became a trillionaire today. And that's why here in California, we need to be raising taxes on the billionaires here in California. We can't raise taxes on Elon Musk because he took his money and he moved to Texas. You know, in Texas, they don't have health care for the poor in Texas. They have a minimum wage of $7.25 still on the books in Texas, and they don't have health care for any of the poor people unless you're a child or you're over 65. And that is a shame. And we don't want to become like that, California. So we need to raise taxes on the rich right here in California. Raise taxes on the rich right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. And we need to tell Becerra, everybody needs to tell Becerra, you better get behind that Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. And we need to force him to get behind it because Newsom has already said, no, it's bad for business. And Newsom wants to run for president. So he's trying to move to the center. And he doesn't want to ruffle his billionaire friends' feathers. So we need to tell Becerra, listen, you want to get started off right? You better get behind that Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. You know, we can't raise taxes on Elon Musk right now because Trump's in power. But we can raise taxes on the billionaires here in California, and we need to speak out. That's right. You tell them. You get involved and tell them we need to raise taxes on the billionaires here in California because we need to make sure the poor people can thrive and survive right here in California. Because we need to speak out because since Elon Musk is a trillionaire now, we need to really, come on. How much money does any one person need? We need to raise his taxes, but we can't. So we have to raise taxes on the billionaires here in California. I have to change the lyrics to this song because now Elon Musk is a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna die. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. It ain't a crime. Well, I guess they made it a crime here in Santa Monica. They are criminalizing poverty and homelessness here in Santa Monica and all around the country. Ever since the Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling by the Supreme Court, which our own Governor Newsom, asked the Supreme Court to help him criminalize homelessness so he could clean up the streets. And now every city all around the country is criminalizing homelessness, except there are some states and cities that are pushing back against that. The city of Seattle, Washington, they are building tiny housing and they are telling their authorities not to arrest people for being homeless, for sleeping outdoors when they don't have enough shelter beds. The state of Oregon restricted the right of Grants Pass, Oregon, because Grants Pass, Oregon wanted to criminalize poverty and homelessness, and the state of Oregon passed a law saying, no, we don't care if the Supreme Court says you can criminalize homelessness, we're going to put restrictions on you. And that's a wonderful thing, because we have to stand up against the rich, especially as we're moving further and further into a technological era where more and more of the jobs are going to be taken over by artificial intelligentsia and robots. We need to stand up for human rights, and we need to stand up for a Billionaire Tax Act right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. Ah, yeah. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I gotta change the lyrics to trillionaire, because now we have a trillionaire in this country. That's a shame. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad nowadays. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich or poor, we're all going to say goodbye someday. Hopefully not tonight. Let's put it off a little while if we can help it. Now, I don't want you to think that I think all billionaires are evil, blood suckers. Some of them are just sick. They're like hoarders or alcoholics or drug addicts. But the trillionaire, we know a trillionaire needs to be told that he can't have so much money and raise his taxes wherever you are, but we can do it right here in California. You know, a lot of people say, Wade, you can't raise taxes on the trillionaires in California, or all the trillionaires will leave California, billionaires in California. All the billionaires will leave California. And I say, bye. If you're the kind of billionaire who thinks it's okay for poor people to sleep in the streets and be arrested for being poor and homeless, then you don't need to be in California. If you're the kind of billionaire who thinks it's okay for poor kids, but yeah, if you're the kind of billionaire that thinks it's okay to not fund education, thank you, peace. Thank you very much. If you're the kind of billionaire that thinks it's okay to not fund education and would rather have people in prison, then go bye-bye. Go to another state and take advantage of the poor in another state, like that trillionaire Elon Musk did. He went to Texas, where they don't have any health care for the poor. And we don't want to be a state like Texas. We want to make sure that we have the basic needs for every human being here in the state of California. We want to make sure that every human being here in California can have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. We need to stand up for human rights right here in California, because I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Trillionaire, boy. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad nowadays. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich and poor, we're all going to say goodbye. Hopefully not tonight. Let's keep hanging on for a while and enjoying the party for a while if we can. And keep speaking out for the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around in the bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. And I'll keep on working at it. That's right. It's just a shame when this country has a trillionaire. That means that Congress has not done its job and not raised taxes when it should have. When you have one person owning more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population here in the United States, you know that our Congress has done a terrible job because that's part of their job. It's right there in the Constitution. They're supposed to raise taxes for defense and for the general welfare of this country. And if there's one guy owning more than the lowest 50% of our population, one guy owning more wealth than the bottom 50% of our population, then you know we're in real trouble. And our Congress has done a terrible job. That's why we have to do a better job right here in California and tell our leaders to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 and to make sure we spend more money on education, spend more money on health care, spend more money on housing. We need to build affordable housing all around California. Right here on this promenade, you can see empty buildings all around. You see vacant buildings all on this promenade and all around Santa Monica. That shouldn't be. You shouldn't be arresting homeless people for being poor and homeless because they're sleeping outdoors when you have so many empty buildings. That means that you haven't raised taxes on these vacant buildings and you haven't made laws that would help get people into housing here in Santa Monica. Way too many poor people sleeping on the streets and being criminalized for it. We have too many leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, while they are the ones causing the homelessness and the poverty here in Santa Monica and all around California. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor. They say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. Now, you know, this is just a job that Robert has to do. This is just part of his job. I'm sure Robert doesn't want to have to close up these chairs every night and keep poor people from sitting on them. He doesn't want to do that. But that's the law here in Santa Monica. They don't have any permanent seating, and yet they criminalize people for sitting on the sidewalks. There's a no sit, no lie law right here in Santa Monica. And sometimes they prosecute it, and sometimes they hand out citations to people for sitting on the sidewalk, even though they take the chairs away, and even though they don't have any permanent seating hardly anywhere in Santa Monica anymore, because they didn't want to see poor people sitting around, or homeless people sitting around. So they took all the permanent seating away, and now with this no sit, no lie law, you know, some people are given a citation for sleeping in the park. They give them a citation, and then these homeless people, sometimes they don't go to their court date, and then they have a warrant out for their arrests for not showing up for the court date, for sleeping outdoors, but there is no place for them to go and have any housing or have a safe place to sleep. You know, Santa Monica right now is trying to close down the San Michelle shelter. That's a 60-bed shelter over there on Olympic and 5th Street. They want to close that down because there's a criminal element over there. Santa Monica has so few shelter beds, but they want to close that down, and they want to lease shelter beds in the city of Bell. They want to lease shelter beds in a poorer, more ethnically diverse, more densely populated city. That's what they want to do. That's one of the answers they are giving to helping homelessness. And that's just a shame, Santa Monica. Santa Monica doesn't even know. I asked the director of Housing and Human Services at one of these committee meetings I'm on, How many homeless people should Santa Monica be responsible for? Everybody says that the homeless people come from everywhere, and Santa Monica can't be responsible for all of them. How many homeless people should Santa Monica be responsible for? You know what this director of Housing and Human Services told me? She didn't know. They didn't have an answer for that yet. They're working on a formula to try to determine how many homeless human beings they should be responsible for. No wonder they are doing such a terrible job. They can't even say, oh, we should be responsible for 600 or 800 homeless people. They want all the homeless people pushed out of Santa Monica. Phil Brock used to tell me, all these homeless people are from somewhere else. I'll help them get back to where they were born. I'll help them get back to where they live. We'll give them money to pay them to go back to where they live. He actually asked me, he said, Wade, where are you from? I said, I'm from Culver City. He said, I can help you get back there. It's just down the road, you know. But anyway, I said, I was born in Culver City. I haven't lived in Culver City since I was a baby. So I shouldn't have to go back to where I was born. You know, Santa Monica has no problem taking responsibility for rich people that move here, that have just moved here recently. Hey, if you're rich and you just moved here today, Santa Monica will accept you as a resident. But if you're a poor person and you've been sleeping on the streets here for 10 years, then you're out. You're not a resident of Santa Monica. You're just somebody who's trying to feed off of Santa Monica. See, I'm with you. What's your name? Christopher St. John, good to see you. Good to see you. Wade Kelley, and you know I'm running for Santa Monica City Council right here in Santa Monica this year. Thank you very much, Christopher St. John. And I hope we all get involved and speak out, no matter where you are. If you're a voter here in Santa Monica, I hope you get involved. If you're a voter in Los Angeles, I think you should get behind Nithya Rahman, because Nithya Rahman stood up for the poor and the homeless better than Karen Bass. Karen Bass, unfortunately, was saying that she didn't want to criminalize homelessness, but under her administration, the rise of criminalizing homelessness went up by 68%. The arrests of homeless people in Los Angeles went up by 68% since she's been in power. Here in Santa Monica, this last year, in Santa Monica, 75% of all the arrests in Santa Monica this last year were homeless human beings. Less than 1% of the population was arrested 75% of the time. Targeted. I can say targeted, that's right. They were targeted for being poor and homeless and having too many bags. You know, they're stopping people, and they're stopping people with carts, and they're taking away the carts. If they're a shopping cart, I know they belong to somebody else. But these homeless people, these homeless people don't have any way to get around. You know, Santa Monica does not have one storage place for homeless human beings. My homeless friends here in Santa Monica have to store their stuff downtown Los Angeles or some other place. Even just a little garbage can full of stuff. Now they are taking people's belongings, and they are telling homeless human beings, you have to fit all of your belongings in a 60-gallon bag. And if you can't fit it all in a 60-gallon bag, we're going to throw the rest of it away. That's what they do all over Los Angeles. In Santa Monica, they take people's belongings. Venice is terrible about it. That Tracy Parks, I sure hope she gets voted out. I don't know. Too many conservatives down there in Venice seem to like her running off the poor and the homeless. But we need to stand up for human rights. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and while they're causing poverty. They say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. We'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's what they say, right? Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of those streets. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. Gotta live in a mansion. The rich folks wanna help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. You gotta get a yacht. You gotta get a yacht. Now the rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. On the moon. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. That's right, homeless people. Just be rich. We need to send all the homeless people to a Tony Robbins motivational seminar. Hello, homeless people. I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money. That's the best way to do it. Would that be the best way to fix that problem? I think maybe building some affordable housing might help. Some safe spaces for poor people to go and stay until we have enough affordable housing might help. Not criminalizing poverty and homelessness might help. But if you want to send them to a Tony Robbins motivational seminar, I'll go ahead and do that too. Everybody wants to fix the homeless people's problems first. Well, we can't give them housing because they're drug addicts. We can't give them housing because they have mental disabilities. Hey, listen, if you're going to wait till everybody is perfect before they have any affordable housing, you're going to be making a long wait. We all got a long wait. There's a lot of people with mental disabilities living in housing in the United States. There are a lot of people on all kinds of medication for mental disabilities. But you know what makes it worse? If you would have to find a safe place to sleep every night. If you had to spend your day trying to find a safe place to sleep every night where you are not harassed by the police, or threatened by somebody else, your mental disability is going to get a little worse. And if you have a substance abuse disorder, and every day you have to figure out where you're going to be able to have a safe place to sleep, where you can go without being harassed or threatened or given a citation, if you have to worry every day about finding a safe place to sleep, huh? Code enforcement. You got to enforce those codes. You got to enforce them because they're a code. Like the no sit, no lie code here in Santa Monica. You got to make sure that those poor people sitting on the curb, that they know they can't sit on that curb or they'll get a citation. You got to let them know because that's wrong. And we have too many people enforcing codes instead of making sure that poor people can have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. So we need more affordable housing so that we can move in a better direction for people. Once you get them into housing, that's what Seattle is doing right now with their tiny village. A lot of people all over the country are saying, well, they're letting people in that tiny village that have drug problems and they haven't cleaned themselves up yet. Well, good for them. They're getting people in housing, and then hopefully you can help them with the problems that they have. It's going to be much easier to help people when they are in some sort of housing. Because once you get them in the housing, then you can make them all perfect, just like you and me. You can make them all perfect then. But until then, let's work on building some affordable housing and stop arresting people for being poor and homeless. Housing first. That is right. Housing first. Hey, why don't we do the housing first? Housing first. That'd be a good idea, Ethan. Housing first. Why don't we do the housing first? Housing first. Then we'll make them perfect just like you and me. That's right. Because we have way too many people being arrested for sleeping outdoor while being poor, 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 being poor, being poor. That's a whole nother story, that being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. They asked me what I was in for. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Hey, they asked me, hey, what are you in for? I was sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Oh, the rich man, he can sleep on the grass. But the poor folks better move your butts or they'll haul in your ass for sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 They say I'm nothing but a low-down worthless slob. Ain't got no money. I ain't got no job. They say that I better get rich. Until then, I can't sleep in a ditch. I'll be called in for sleeping outdoor while being poor. Still working on this song. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. They said, hey, what you in for? I said, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. The judge, he said, listen to me, son. You would have more rights in America if you were wandering around with a gun. But you are sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 Yeah, the judge, he said to me, son, You would have more rights if you were walking around with a gun, but you're sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Hey, the rich man, he can sleep on the grass, but if you're poor, you better move before they haul in your ass. I'm telling you, it's a rough place to be. Sleeping outdoor next to a poor man like me because you're sleeping outdoor while being poor. 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 They all said, hey, what you in for? I said, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. That's a shame. That's the way it is right now. You can get arrested for sleeping outdoor while being poor. It is a damn shame, and we need to keep talking about it and keep getting people involved. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council in 2026 to stand up for human rights. All right, thank you. That's right. We need to speak out because, you know, this city council has done a worse job of standing up for human rights than Phil Brock and the people he was with. And that's, I never thought that was possible. We got Harvard graduates on the city council who think it's okay to arrest people for being poor and homeless. And that is just a shame. I don't know how they were endorsed by the Democratic Party here in Santa Monica. I don't know how they were endorsed by the renters' rights group here in Santa Monica. They're doing a terrible job, and I'm sorry. I wish they weren't. I wish you guys were doing a better job in building affordable housing. They still have pickleball courts over there on 4th Street. They still have pickleball courts over there on 4th Street. That's supposed to be a 122 unit, low income, homeless complex. They've been talking about that since 2018. And they tell me, well, it's going to break ground at the end of 2026. It's a damn shame. And it's also a shame that none of the other candidates so far, out of 11 that I've heard speak, none of them will propose to use any of that Santa Monica airport property to build affordable housing. There's an initiative out there to use 44 acres, 25% of that airport property land when it is turned over to the city at the end of 2028. To use 25% of that 192 acres of land to build 3,000 units of affordable housing. And I am the only candidate so far who would propose to use that land to build affordable housing. And that's a shame. I don't understand what these people are thinking. How many times do you think you're going to get 192 acres of land turned over to your city? We need to tell these people in Santa Monica, be part of making things better and not part of making things worse here in Santa Monica. You know, if you use that whole 192 acres of land for a great park, how many people are you going to have to hire to keep homeless people from sleeping on that great park? How many people are you going to pay a lot of money to, like you pay your police officers over $150,000 a year here in Santa Monica? How many people are you going to pay a lot of money to keep your homeless people from sleeping in your great park if you don't build affordable housing? So we need to tell them to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot probably not till 2028. But whenever it gets on the ballot, we need to vote for it. It deserves a yes vote from us all. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot fall of 2028. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all, and that would be great. So that Great Park and Community Housing Initiative proposes to use 25% of that airport property land, 25% of that 192 acres of land that will be turned over to the city at the end of 2028 to build affordable housing. We have way too many people working in Santa Monica that cannot afford to live in Santa Monica. What? They're probably. I'm glad you mentioned that because they'll certainly find room for pickleball courts no matter how many acres they have. That just as long as the poor people can't play pickleball, they'll do whatever they can. Hey, that reminds me. There's a thing going on in the Los Angeles City Council. They were talking about raising taxes on all of the golf courses in Los Angeles, all of the private golf courses that have been paying the taxes that were set during Prop 13. Can you imagine that? This would raise hundreds of millions of dollars for the city of Los Angeles if they just made sure that they tax those golf courses the way they do other people's houses. There are new people that buy housing now in Los Angeles. They need to raise money on those golf courses. We'll look into that. But we all need to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative right here in Santa Monica. Oh, the Great Park. They'll use 25% of that airport property to build 3,000 units of affordable housing. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Sign your names on that petition if you see it. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot in the fall of 2028. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all. What do you think about that, Jerry? Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Should get a yes vote from us all. So I hope you all get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative because Santa Monica needs to build some affordable housing. We need to work to help the poor in some way instead of just criminalizing poverty. And I'm glad that the Unite Here union, that's right, that's the Unite Here is the hospitality union, Unite Here 11, I believe it's called. And you know, a great thing about the Unite Here, they signed a contract with SoFi Stadium. They said if any of the ICE agents start harassing or trying to arrest any of our workers in the Unite Here union, that they would automatically go on strike. Right then and there. They'd just shut the whole thing down, the whole FIFA Cup competition. Now that is a good way to fight against ICE, is to get your employers to stand up for your rights. Because of course, it's the employers who brought 20 million people to this country without giving them a pathway to citizenship. It's these people that have been used for their labor for generations and haven't been given their rights because there are so many people that want to take advantage of low wage earning people and take advantage of them and not have them become a part of our democracy. There's a lot of these rich people that don't want poor people to become part of our democracy, because they might vote to raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Yay. That's right, we all need to get behind that. Anyway, so this union, the Hospitality Workers Union, the Unite Here 11, they put it in their contract that if ICE would threaten any of them or harass any of them or take any of them to jail because they don't have documentation, that they would shut down the whole sporting event there at SoFi Stadium. And I think that's a fantastic thing. We need to use peaceful protest, boycott, sit-ins, walkout. Don't try to fight with authorities. You're always going to have these hotheads whenever you peacefully protest that say only violence will bring change. No, you're wrong. We need to stand up for peaceful protest. We learned during the civil rights movement, there were a lot of people that suffered a lot of abuse, people that were injured. And of course, Martin Luther King Jr. lost his life standing up for human rights, standing up for civil rights in the civil rights movement. And we need to continue to tell these people, these young people that are protesting, just peacefully protest. Use the legal avenues. Use the legal avenues in all of our fights against Trump. It's great news that this judge is saying Trump has to take his name off of the Kennedy Center. That's fantastic. And you know, you put things through the process and it'll work out pretty well most of the time. They're not going to let Trump tell us how to run our elections here in California. I loved it the other day when Kristen Welker was interviewing Trump, and he said, "It's rigged. The California elections are rigged, rigged." And she kept saying, "Where's the evidence, Mr. President? Where's the evidence?" But it's rigged. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Well, where's the evidence, Mr. President? And he got so upset. He got up and he walked out of that interview. And that's fantastic. Keep standing up and speaking out against authority. Exercise our First Amendment rights, everybody. That's the beautiful thing in this country. We need to show the rest of the country. How's it going? Good to see you.
I love your presence.
Thank you very much. Good to see you again. What's your name?
Tony Antala.
Tony Montana? Tony Montana? Great to see you again. We've met before, haven't we? Good to see you. Good to see you, Tony. And Christopher. No middle name, St. John. And so no middle name is your middle name? Christopher, no middle name, St. John. And that's an interesting middle name. You're doing great. You're doing great. Keep moving forward. Thank you very much, Christopher St. John. All right. Okay. You. I hope they're doing well, and you keep standing. Oh, okay. Du Leaksman Harrison. Wait a minute. All right, you spread the peace and love. Keep standing up for human rights wherever you go. Keep speaking out for human rights, Christopher St. John, and I hope your mom is doing wonderfully.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good to see you.
I'll see you again.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's right. We just got to keep speaking out and not let people say that we've already gotten to a place where we have equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. We got to keep speaking out and standing up for the rights of people and doing like that Unite Here 11 union, the hospitality union. I think they are also endorsing the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. How you doing? Doing all right? Hello, sir. Can I give you some? No? You all right? The union Unite Here is also for the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative. So I hope they get that through soon. If you see the petition, sign it. But the idea that they used their contract to stand up against ICE is a wonderful thing. And I hope different unions do that all around the country and put the responsibility on the business owners, because they're the ones who have made sure that these people haven't had a pathway to citizenship for generations while they use them for their labor. De la Sierra Moreno, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Es el lunar que tiene cielito lindo junto a la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land. This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Aye, aye, aye. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. One more time, let's go. Ay, 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 cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Aye, aye, aye. This land was made for you and me. Aye, aye, aye. This land was made for you and me. Oh, how you doing? Good. Huh? Could you sing a song? What kind of song? Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But I'm singing these political songs. You see, I'm running for Santa Monica City Council right here in Santa Monica.
It's going to help you.
What?
It's going to help you because people want to be happy when they vote.
I understand that, but I'm singing about things that we need to do right here in Santa Monica. I appreciate it. What's your name?
Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I sing my own songs right now. What's your name? Andrew. Wade. Nice to meet you, Andrew. Keep standing up for human rights and speaking out, and don't worry, be happy. And we'll keep working towards a better day for everybody. Ay, 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 cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Aye, aye, aye. This land is made for you and me. Aye, 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 aye. This land is made for you and me. That's right. We got to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Because we haven't gotten there yet. Don't let anybody tell you different. We got to keep standing up for human rights right here in Santa Monica, California. We got to tell the leaders right here in Santa Monica, you need to stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness and start building affordable housing. Find safe spaces for homeless people to be able to survive until we have enough affordable housing or safe shelter beds and such. I mean, we gave our governor $24 billion to build affordable housing. Where's the housing, Newsom? Instead, he criminalized poverty and homelessness is what he did. He went to the Supreme Court and said, give me the power, help me to criminalize the homelessness. Please don't talk about Newsom as anything other than ex-governor. He should not be considered for any other office. He'll be Newsom ex-governor. That's the only job he's fit for in government. And I'm sorry to say it, but that's the truth. We got to keep working towards a better day because we live in the land of milk and honey. There's plenty. We are the #1 agricultural state in the whole country. We're the 4th largest economy of the whole wide world. We have the most billionaires of any state in the whole country. And we have the most homeless people of any state in the whole country. That's why we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Because we got plenty of everything, we just need to spread it around a little better. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. So listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love. And that's right. We're celebrating LGBTQ rights here and around the country. Certainly here in Santa Monica and I think California. We stand up for the rights of everybody to be who you want to be. And we need to stand up for the rights of everybody to be able to be who they want to be, have a decent place to live, food to eat, health care, and a good public education. We need to stand up for everybody's rights and stand up against the rich people owning everything and pushing the poor people down the road and trying to tell everybody what they should be. That's a beautiful thing in this country, is that everybody can choose who they want to be as long as they're not hurting anybody else. And we need to stand up for everybody's rights to do that. Speak out. Stand up against racism and hatred whenever you see it, whenever you hear it. Keep standing up for peace and love. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Because when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bring some home to your little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the dope. Because when the hope and the joy are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about joy. It's about hope. That's right, man. How you doing? Good to see you. You see Mike there? It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me learning how to be. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. That's right. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yay. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. That's right. It's about spreading peace and love around and standing up against racism and hatred whenever we see it, whenever we hear it. It's about standing up against anti-Semitism. It's about standing up against anti-Islam, Islamophobia, about standing up against hatred and racism of any religious group. You know, the beautiful thing about the United States is the First Amendment of our Constitution. That, I think, is the most beautiful. It's the best. And in that United States Constitution, it says that you can believe however you want in the First Amendment rights. It says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight, of course. But it's a beautiful thing that says everybody can believe however they want. You can believe and share your beliefs. You can say that you think I'm going to hell. And some people have said that. You can say that I am going to hell, but you cannot try to send me there. You cannot threaten people or commit violence against people for their beliefs. And that's what we got to be sure about here in the United States of America. We got to make sure that no matter how you feel about the wars all around the world, no matter how you think those wars should be conducted all around the world, and who is right and who is wrong, and how we should be involved or not involved, you have a right to all of those thoughts and all of those beliefs, and you can speak about all of those things. But you can't try to commit violence against somebody because they believe differently than you in this country. And we need to stand up for those rights. We need to stand up for the rights of everybody to speak their mind without threat of violence. And that's what we got to keep working on here in the United States and keep standing up for strongly. The right of everybody to speak their own beliefs and get out here on this public promenade, especially during this World Cup soccer tournament, because we want to show the rest of the world that we believe in human rights and First Amendment rights more than anything. And this promenade belongs to all of us. This is a public promenade. This does not belong to these bars or these restaurants or these businesses. This promenade belongs to all of us, and we need to keep taking it back day after day. It's great to have the celebrations and the different people come out here with their different catering trucks and their different celebratory things. But we need to keep reminding these people that this is our public promenade, and we need to keep enjoying it and speaking out. Get out here and share your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, your talents, whatever they are. Hey, if you're not selling anything, tell them I'm not selling anything, so I don't need a performer's permit. I'm just out here peacefully protesting and sharing my beliefs and thoughts. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Because when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bring some home to your little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the dope. Because when the hope and the joy are gone, you know it must be moving on. It's about joy. It's about hope. And it's about standing up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. How you doing? Good to see you. And it's about telling our leaders right here in Santa Monica we need to stand up for human rights and stop arresting people for being poor and homeless. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council here in Santa Monica. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Because when you and me are gone, you know it must be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. You know, if we work towards building more affordable housing in Santa Monica, that works toward integrating Santa Monica. We have 800 miles of public beaches here in California, and mostly rich white people live next to those public beaches. Why is that? It doesn't have to be that way. We need to keep integrating our society. And if you build more affordable housing, the chances are you're going to have more people of color moving into your city. Because when you push all the poor people out, you push out a lot of people of color. and we need to keep integrating our society. It's about you, it's about me, it's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me, it's about you, it's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about you, it's about me. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, lay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, lay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, lay. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, lay. Bevenu shalom alechem. Bevenu shalom alechem. Bevenu shalom alechem. Bevenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. All right, you heading out, Ethan? Good to see you. You have a great night. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you back here on Monday. What do you think of that? What do you think of them apples?
I think it's good. Wonderful. Absolutely. Peace and love, everybody.
Thank you, Ethan. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. 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 It's all about love. Hey, hey. That's right. It's all about peace and love. I feel bad I didn't let that guy sing a little earlier. I didn't know if he knew the whole song, and I was dealing with a lot of sounds tonight because of what they had going on earlier, the FIFA Cup stuff, and just a lot of other distractions that I do. We keep working towards a better day. We're not going to get there today. We might take us a few days, but we keep working towards a better day for everybody. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. We make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Someone's always crying, there'll always be pain. Some need the sunshine and some need rain. The world keeps spinning, we can't slow it down, but we can help each other while it's turning around. And make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. That's right. We got to just keep moving forward, keep making things better. But let's move in a better direction. Don't criminalize poverty and homelessness. That's the wrong direction. Find spaces for people so that they can survive until we have enough affordable housing. You know, we used to have rooming houses and boarding houses and YMCAs with a lot of rooms and things like that to help people. There's a reason that we're in a housing crisis, a homelessness crisis. It's been brought on by generations of greed. And we need to make sure that we're providing enough affordable housing. Even the people that do have housing now are spending, many of them are spending over 50% of their income on housing. That's not the way it should be. It shouldn't be that hard, especially as we're moving further and further into this technological era. If AI could ever get its act together and actually make the correct answers on things, I'm sorry, but Google AI was getting things wrong about factual, just dates and places of meetings. Hey, AI, can you tell me when the next city council meeting is in Santa Monica, California? Couldn't get it right many times. Oh, I should have checked to see what day it was today. I'm amazed at some of the excuses that AI has for getting things wrong. What? Today's the 12th. Thank you. You should tell that to AI sometime. Anyway, as we move further, it got the wrong date. Did you read the thing? I don't know if you read on my Facebook, but I asked AI about the city council meeting this last Tuesday. It said it was canceled. And I said, okay. I asked it twice. And then I found out the day that the meeting was happening, that it was actually happening. And I said to AI, why did you tell me that it wasn't taking place? It says, oh, I'm sorry. I get things wrong now and again. And it says it's not, sometimes it doesn't check which day it is, or it confuses different meetings with different meetings and different councils with different councils. I couldn't believe that was the answer it gave me, but yes. And sometimes it says sometimes I have hallucinations. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then it says, I said, well, are you lying? It says, no, I'm not self-aware, so I can't lie.
Bro, I'm French. I'm famous in France. I can sing you something French for you.
Non, rien de rien.
Okay. Let me sing.
Non, je ne regrette rien.
Let me sing something French with you. You play guitar and I sing.
But I don't know the song. Do you know this song?
Yes.
Non,
What song do you want?
rien de rien.
I don't know.
Non, je ne regrette rien.
Okay, let's me sing this.
Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal.
Yes, let me sing.
I don't know any of the French songs that you would sing. You know This Land Is Your Land?
But you play guitar and I sing on.
But I don't know the ones you sing. I understand, but I don't know what he wants to sing, so I can't play the song.
No, just play what you want on guitar, and I press my voice on.
Okay. All right.
Yes, like a freestyle.
Like This Land Is Your Land?
Yes, we make a feat together.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me, for you and me, for you and me, for you and me. À la base, je rappe pas. Je voulais juste voir ce que ça fait. À la base, je rappe pas du tout. Je voulais juste voir ce que ça fait. Je dois les récits, mais la 206, à la base je rappe pas, mais je voulais juste voir ce que ça fait. Hey! Now what did you say, actually?
Like, I'm not a singer, but I want to sing for see what it does, and I don't want a resist like it's a big car. I want a little car because I'm something humble.
Peace and love.
Yes,
You
sir.
have a great time.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Yes, you too.
And speak out for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, and the rights of the homeless to be able to thrive and survive right here in Santa Monica. Speak out for the rights of human beings to be able to survive, even if they don't have a lot of money. How about that? Peace and love.
It's gonna make you famous, man.
But I guess it's about time. I wanted to play this song. My brother Joe, it was his birthday yesterday. He turned 69. All right. And he wrote this song. So let me see if I can do it. And it's going to be on Henry Phillips' Jose Suicidio's new album. And my brother wrote this song. He was a star, but he didn't go far. That's the way of fortune and fame. Sure, he was funny, made lots of money, but you can't remember his name. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet. He went to parties, met lots of starlets, even had a wife or two. Those were the good days, those were the old days. Now those days are through. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet. It was November, maybe December. She saw him on a TV show. He did a guest spot. Then she remembered his name was Hollywood Joe. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet. And if you see me out on the street, buy me a cup of coffee, put me back on my feet. That's right. Well, that's right. There's a lot of people come here to California to become rich and famous and be movie stars and TV stars and funny people and stuff like that. And they don't all make it. They don't all make it to the top. Some of them even end up homeless and might need a little help later in life. You know, old people are the fastest growing demographic of the homeless population here in California. and we need to make sure that everybody can have a decent life. We can make sure that everybody can get a cup of coffee and get helped back on their feet. We can keep working towards a better day for everybody. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, housing the homeless, common sense gun law. I heard there was another shooting today. Was a shooting in Texas today? It's a shame. We need to stand up for human rights, and we need to make sure that we can have common sense gun laws, make sure that it's harder for people who have evil intent to get hold of guns. We don't need to have a mass shooting every day in this country. We can do better. We need to all get involved and speak out. Don't give up. Don't say, oh, we can't do anything. No, keep moving forward. Keep standing up and telling everybody that you vote for that they better stand up for common sense gun laws and to spend more money on public education and to make sure that everybody has health care and a decent place to live and food to eat. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before. But first of all, we have to stand up for human rights and make sure that nobody, thank you, peace, I'll be sharing that with the homeless, that nobody is arrested for being poor and homeless and sleeping outside when there is no place else for them to sleep. We can do better. There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why can't my dream come true? Oh, why? And there must be peace and understanding somewhere. Strong winds of promise that blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope shines down on every one, tell me why, oh why? Oh, why won't that sun appear? We're lost in a cloud. We took my train. We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. And deep in my heart, there's a trembling question. Still, I am sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's a beckoning candle. And while I can think, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can dream, feeling my dream come true right now. Right now. Peace and love. Want to say anything?